Hello, my lovely Luz, my beautiful, beautiful family. We have some answers. So, with that, welcome to 1111 True Crime, everybody's favorite voice on the YouTube streets. All right, you guys, so I'm still stuck on Jay Slater's phone. I was planning to come back on Monday, but when you guys are willing to do the overtime, so am I, because I want the truth and I want it as soon as possible. I'm not one to be able to hold on to anything. As soon as I find out an answer, I want everybody to know it. So I'm back early. And I want to thank you for tuning in, because I don't usually do 2 videos in a row. I need time to digest things and think about it, see how I feel, where it fits in. Every little bit of information, to me, I have to put it in the question box and be like, okay, is this true? Now, when it comes to Jay Slater's phone, I challenged everybody because I couldn't find it. Where did it come from that Jay's phone had, one, been found? When did that come out? Was it reported on some sort of a source that I could pull up and be like, there it says it? And yes is the answer. We have it. So I'm going to give you the download on that. I'm going to say hello to a few people. But then when we get the answer, I'm like, well, what in the fudge at Christmas time are we doing, not thinking foul play, if this is true? Because it is being reported, and unless these several news sources want to retract it, which it's questionable that 1 or 2 may have. So the whole thing kind of needs to be discussed so that we know, whereas a family in true crime trying to work for justice for Jay, where can we put a stake in the ground? And is that stake in the ground where we say, okay, this is a starting point that we can build from, is it at the Playa One Beach? I got information. You guys are incredible. Thank you incredibly much for you guys not only telling me where you saw it, but those that went and got the link, got me the info. Because for once, I didn't have to take an idea and dig for hours. I went to the flower shop. I bought me 10 big giant mums and decorated the yard while I prepared for the video. And it was just a blessing, because you guys are very resourceful yourself. So hats off to all of you. Before we get into that, I want to talk a minute about Lucy. Lucy. So we have a new starlight, and there it is. Hi, Kim Truthful. Welcome to our starlights. Appreciate you very much. It supports the channel and what we do here. And every once in a great while, and I plan to do it today, but it broke out in a thunderstorm. I'm not able to do it. Maybe tomorrow. I want to film the boys again, my Jack Russells, and in nature, and share that with our starlights. So, all right, you guys. Let's get into this. Hi, Nick Max. Now, you are watching a live interactive chat, which means I am literally conversing with a live audience, and you may be watching replay. If there's a meet and greet or something you don't like, tap forward a little bit. We're probably into another subject by then. We do jump around. I know a lot of people don't understand how we can jump from topic to topic. So I just want to give you, if you're new to the channel, a little welcome and say welcome in. What we do is we hit the topic, and we're going to be talking about where Jay's phone allegedly was found, when it was found, and all kinds of good stuff like that. Then we're going to jump into the interactive part where it's going to get into the Lucy, the Brad, the stuff that's all over YouTube right now. And we converse on that. And a lot of times we get connecting parts that go boom, because you've got a lot of brain trust. So I'm not only the voice of the missing or those that have fallen. I'll just leave it at that, right? But I'm also your voice in a sense. You email me something, and if it's going to be something that I can share and it shows a source and it's good work, then I've given you a voice to get your information out there, as well as I give you your opinion shared out there. So I'm not giving you your opinion, but I'm giving you the opportunity to share your opinion out there as well. So that's what we do here. It's just a chat. There is no evidence. I do not claim, nor have I ever, that I'm going to solve the case. I don't work for the Fake Bureau of Investigation. I do not. But it is one of those deals today. Hey, Kate Kelly. Thank you, lovely, for all your snooper chats on the side. I appreciate that. You may want to remain low-cal on that, but I just want to say thank you anyway. So, Oceans Deep 24, thank you for returning. Good to see you all. Hi, Sean Caldwell. Rest in peace, Jay Slater. Don't believe Lucy. Right? One bad pics for you. Did you know? Okay, let's read the statement here, the comment. Any idea who Lucy's mom is and why she hasn't come forward to defend her daughter? Boom! This is why I involve you. Because you guys are smart. You think. Haley's comment over on TikTok and now on YouTube is doing an excellent job on this Jay Slater case. And she was conversing back and forth with Miss Lucy. Through text. She asked Lucy for the phone log, a copy of the phone log, so that it would validate and prove what Lucy was saying. So Haley could be like, look, Lucy's being honest. Here's the phone log. Lucy claimed in this text back to Haley that she deleted the past calls because she never thought she'd need them. How many of you, and maybe it's just me, but how many of you have deleted anything in your call logs in the last month? Like where you called? How many of you just delete them? Is that normal? Is it me? Or is that a very sus kind of Stephen Stearns, Madeline Soto kind of what moment? So as long as we're talking about phones, that just made me look at Lucy even more than I did when Mr. Warren looked over and said, I'm just showing you things that, Jay's dad, Warren, I'm just showing things of my research and what I was interested in. And the only person he showed is Brad sitting in them trainers right where Jay would have allegedly left the path in Masca, right? Now Lucy's allegedly deleted her phone calls. Wow. Wow, that's just bizarre to me. I don't know. Have any of you done that? Shout out to Haley Comment on TikTok. Lovely. Claire Wade, no. Ocean Deep, never, never, ever. You watched it too, G-Star? Oh, and I think Haley is just a beautiful girl. I mean, to me, she looks like Snow White. She is just beautiful. BS unless you're hiding something. Where's our goat? So if you're returning, welcome back. You probably already know. But there are a lot of new faces. So this is our goat, Billy the Goat. It releases stress. It works as a trigger warning. It's like when I see a red flag, I'm going to scream, right? You deleted your call logs. All right, let's get into this. Going over to the screen, quarter screen. I'm off camera, and I'm going to unpin chat for a minute. Hopefully I'll remember to repin it. And this is it, you guys. This is the Daily Record. Allegedly, it came from the Daily Mail originally. We have yet to see that. It is, several people are saying that the Daily Mail retracted their statement 2 days later. I don't know if that's true, but we cannot find it on Daily Mail. However, they are named as the source that the Daily Record and also the Birmingham are using as that information. Says Jay Slater may have boarded yacht. Now remember, this is back 2 days, right? 2 days before Jay's found. Is that right? Wasn't he found on the 15th of June, or was it later? It was 29 days. He went missing on the 17th. So it's a few days. I'm wrong on my time. It's a few days before Jay is found. It says Jay Slater, 19, has now been missing for 3 weeks. There you go. On the Canary Island of Tenerife, the latest theory is that Jay may have boarded a yacht and left the island. Where would they get this idea that Jay would have boarded a yacht, right? Really intriguing. Now, again, this is back from the article of July 13th, before Jay is found. But this is what's said. We're going to skip the theory. We're going to come down here. Mark Williams, there he is. And that's concerning because he wouldn't have an idea, I don't think. But right down here, remember when Warren is Jay's dad is talking about Dora the Explorer? Well, I think it is actually this local guide named Tammy. I could be wrong, but just a hunch tells me this local guide Tammy revealed to the Mail, see, the Daily Mail, I'll betcha, that there's a popular route from Masca close to the Airbnb where Jay lodged, leading down to a secluded beach. The Mail disclosed that Jay's mobile phone was discovered at Playa Juan Lopez, an extremely isolated beach. Boom. Now here's a little bit of what I have. Here's my problem. I'm wondering if the source is Dora the Explorer. Listen to how this is worded. Local guide Tammy revealed to the Mail, so she tells the Mail, that there's a popular route to Masca close to the Airbnb where Jay lodged, leading down to the secluded beach. Then it says the Mail disclosed, so they had interviewed Tammy. So if the Mail is disclosing that Jay's mobile phone was discovered at Playa Juan Lopez at an extremely isolated beach, is their source then the local guide Tammy? Or is this what the Daily Mail retracted because Jay's phone wasn't found? You feel me? I'm coming back up to top side. That's my conundrum. That's where I'm stuck still. But we got closer. So the Birmingham and the Daily Record are both holding strong on that story, yet their source has allegedly pulled the information back. So if Jay's phone was found at Playa Juan Beach, which we're going to look at that, is that the information that's being squelched? Because holy shnikes, Batman. If Jay's phone is 2 miles or 10 miles ahead of him after a fall, then he was either coming from the beach towards that way and just laid down, and that's where you might hear the thunder. I'm in a thunderstorm. Or His body could have been placed there by somebody with, I know, right? A boat, because it's a damn island. Now think about this. It starts making a hell of a lot more sense to me if his phone was found at that beach. Why that landslide happened. To cover the tracks of placing the body. So if they're coming up from the bottom, and they've got to go a heck of a long way to allegedly place this body, which maybe they didn't do that at all. Maybe they just said his body was there. But let's just say, who dropped the phone? Because you damn sure know they're not going to plant evidence 2 miles further than the body so that it leaves everybody going, oh, it is foul play. No. They're going to throw that off in the ocean as soon as they're done with it. So the phone, if it is dropped on that Juan Beach, the Playa Juan Beach, to me, my humble logical opinion would be it was dropped accidentally. Because there ain't nobody meaning to put it there. And we doggone sure know that Jay didn't walk all the way down there, lose that phone, and then go all the way back. That never happened. So how did the phone get further than the victim by a couple of miles? Unless we have a third party or a second party, right? Someone walked that phone because it didn't move on its own. And so this is a big uh-oh. So why would the newspapers retract it? Either we don't have a phone or it's being squelched because that is where the phone was found. I tend to believe it is where the phone is found. I'll tell you why. I vaguely recall, and I haven't found it yet, but one of us will, and one of you may email it to me. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, say no more, say no more. There is allegedly a statement where Warren's talking about things, and Warren says Jay's phone had nothing on it. So that would mean it was found. Okay? The other thing was that we have an alleged aunt, which we don't know if it's Jay's aunt or not, that said the phone was wiped about the time that this would have come out. So I'm leaning more towards, yes, it being found at that beach. I'm not 100 because we have somebody like the Daily Mail that may have retracted that statement, and then the Daily Record and the Birmingham and those that are quoting that source have not caught up to speed. Nice way to put it, right? Okay? Okay, Hillman. Good point. Could it have good question. Could it fell out of his pocket when they grabbed him? Were they going to plant the phone at all? Because why would they have it with them? Why wouldn't they got rid of it in the ocean? Were they planting Jay's phone? Like, did they truly wipe it? With the idea that thinking that they wiped it good enough that they can throw it with the body. If that's true, and I'm speculating, of course, everything's always my own opinion, or I'm sharing someone else's opinion. Hear that thunder? And the thunder rolls. Tumbleweed, how are you doing? Have you heard about those ghost phones? There has recently been a lot of news about them. I was wondering if they had those ghost phones would fit with the OCG angle. I don't know what a ghost phone is. Susie says exactly, that's what I've been thinking all along. All right, so let's do something hypothetical. Let's just walk a random theory and let's kick it along as we go. throwing, as I like to say, spaghetti at the wall. See what kind of sticks with what you feel in your gut, you know? So I know a lot of people are questioning if Jay alive ever was at Masca. I showed you a clip where a guy said, he made a claim, he had a video outside what everybody and myself believe is the Papagayo Club, is what he said, is that Jay ended there and was put on the shoulder of a big guy, and he left with they whisked him away. Two guys whisked him away. And he said Papagayo, which is a club right there. We all heard about some alleged scuffle. We didn't know where it was exactly on the Veronica Strip. I find it strange because amongst all the other things you guys shared with me, let me show you this. So I do not know where this comes from, but it has been alleged, that's all it is. Somebody said to me that this is from the Canarian Weekly. I don't know if it's true because I asked for the top part, so I'd have the source. So this is rumor until we know. Rolex theft allegations. Now check it out. I just told you that guy, who never did show his video, by the way, he was alleging, let me get on screen for you. He was alleging that Jay was shanked right outside that nightclub, right? Listen to this. This was a while before Jay was found. British media outlets, including the Daily Mail and the Sun, have speculated on additional details surrounding the case, particularly focusing on alleged theft of a Rolex. See, there was an AP little Snapchat, and then Debbie said there was a little video that said Rolex, all right? Alleged theft of a Rolex shortly before Jay's disappearance. Reportedly, Jay was involved in an altercation with a large Eastern European man, large guy, right, outside Papagayo nightclub in Playa de las Americanas, which he attended on the last night of the festival. I just find that strange. It's two unrelated events that connect a theft of a watch and an altercation happening outside of Papagayo. Two completely different sources. Now, could that guy have literally read this and come and said that online? Absolutely. And he never did show any proof whatsoever, even though he claimed he had proof on his phone. But I want to share with you when I get these things. So that was a little bit weird. Now, I want to give credit where credit is due.
And look at what we've got on the screen right here.
Off we've got one of our favorite sleuths ever, Wax Unfiltered, because, let me back this up, he's the one that originally dropped the info about Jay's phone being found on that beach. And so I want you to give him the credit, not me. I'm just asking questions to understand it. And I feel like there has to be a scenario before we get into Wax here. There has to be some sort of a scenario where something happens where Jay is not on CCTV footage after the NRG rave. Like, there is none. I even find it hard to think that they could squelch all of the CCTV footage. I just find that really hard, that they could shut it all down if it was just being hidden. So it does take me to the Papagayo place. And it makes me wonder if that took place, if, hypothetically, spaghetti on the wall took place, and that is where Jay is whisked away. Okay? Would it make sense then later that the body is placed in a different location than right there at the bar, right? It's not there. It has to go somewhere. Where apparently people go missing all the time and could be a boneyard of evidence, it might be a mode of operation, if you will, to take them to the mountains where people fall to their death all the time, allegedly. See what I'm saying? But you're not going to want to risk that crap. You're not going to come from the top and drop somebody over. You might just speed your little boat right up there, have, the person's possessions. Why would he be down to his shorts? And they never said underwear, which was weird. But anyway, they've got his belongings separate than him. And you might be planning on the phone being wiped and being laid there so that it just leaves all the story. He had his phone, he had his shorts, he had his shoes, he had his shirt, and he has his bag. The whole pieces, whole puzzle right there. But they had an oops. So when they place the body, they've lost the phone and don't know where. And if they did, they may have given away a fingerprint on that phone. So my idea in my spaghetti on the wall to see if it's stick move would be, if I were Jay's parents and I had access to that phone, knowing that other belongings were given, have somebody test that for fingerprints and DNA. See who all has touched that phone. I would be curious. Because if it showed somebody that shouldn't have touched it, that could have been a big deal. Like if it was the mayor's fingerprints are on it, or I don't know. I find it really, really strange. So that was one thing. But for that phone to be ahead of the body and the person, the victim, has already expired here and no clothes, basically, because they're near him. What the hell went on? Why would his clothes have been off of him? That's disturbing to me. Ocean Deep 24, let's get chat back on the board. Says vulnerability. Angels, peace of peace. All due respect to you, my love. Thank you for broadcasting on your channel and bringing us facts. I absolutely adore that about you. You say, I've not found any report deaths in Juan Lopez Ravine. I went searching after harsh reality. I'm going to spit the marbles out and try to talk. I went searching after harsh reality gave the challenge to because he couldn't find any. That is weird, isn't it? I mean, it really begs a lot of questions for me. It really does. Let's go over and check out Wax Unfiltered together. Here we go. This was the way he brought it down when he shared it with everybody.
Look at what we've got on the screen right here. We've got the CAF right at the top, where Chris Tenerife alleges Jay was trying to get to. We've got the phone ping to the left of it. We've got the body that was found there, and I don't know how the body would have got there from the phone ping, because where the phone ping is, we would have been told that he was lying in a ditch cut by a cactus, but somehow he got out of that ditch.
Okay, let's back it up. Let's just stop what he's saying. So it was Chris Tenerife that threw the narrative out there that Jay was getting scran, which is food, right? There's 3 restaurants right in the area where he's already at, but Jay's like, nope, I'm not going to eat at those. I'm going to go this way. But he doesn't. His phone actually pings allegedly right in this area. But the body is found all the way down here closer to the beach. And allegedly his phone is found down here at the Playa de Juan Lopez. What? What? If the boy's phone is on the beach, then why in the hell, if this was released all the way back in the middle of July, have I been getting so many tater tots getting pissed off at me? Because all I've been asking is, could this body have been placed from the beach using a boat? And it's been out here that the phone was found on the beach the whole damn time? Jacob's Ladder, help me here, y'all. That's right. Shauna Caldwell 777. I like your name. He said this sleuth is absolutely excellent. He knows his stuff. That's right. Wax does. He definitely does. Ocean Deep 24. The phone was accidentally lost, so Brad or Aya must have planted a second one, in my opinion. Damn. Well, the fact that Lucy has deleted her posts that show she ever talked to Jay or had any conversation with Jay on a phone is completely gone and can never be proven, according to what was texted to Haley Comet. According to everything we know, Isla, the news reporter, the little Marilyn Monroe blonde with the big blue eyes, that seemed to believe absolutely everything spoon-fed to her by Brad. She never saw Brad's calls either. Why? Why would you hide that when you could be like, look? And the only thing we have is Lucy with an outgoing call to Jay's phone. That's it. And that looks like, I'll be honest, we got the emoji that looked like it's all smudged up and it ain't right, and it's right here and 22 hours ago, and this one's yesterday, and what the hell. So we have a lot of mess going on here because there's really some seriously wrong with this case for that phone to be ahead, forward, go further than the body, further away than the damn body. It's foul play then. At the very least, somebody is interfering with the investigation because the phone has been located and moved. It could be proven if the coroner investigates the phone. Sam R. I don't believe coroners investigate the phone. I could be wrong, but I think that is the investigation team does that. I think the coroner just does the body work. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Is flickering nutty? I'm just saying my candle's flickering nutty. Wouldn't the network be able to prove all records even if deleted under the circumstances? I would think so. But are we going to get a proper investigation? Brad's trainers did look a little dusty on that video sitting on the wall. The serial number, maybe. Right, that for justice for Jay. Yes, that is why we're all here. Yonder said that's to create an alibi, as Lucy also said in one TV interview. He didn't have his phone. See, I think she said that because she slipped and told the truth, that he didn't have his phone. Could Lucy have Jay's phone in order to try and locate it? Well, Jay's Instagram was accessed when he was missing, and everybody thought it was a scam that Jay could be alive. But it wasn't the family. So who the hell had Jay's phone? And with all the searchers, okay, let's jump over with all the searchers that are looking for Jay by that date, just a week before he's found, for 3 solid weeks, no one found that phone before that time frame. Even though they were looking from that area up to the ravine, they didn't find the phone. Okay, I'll try to be quiet. This is about a minute and a half here.
Look at what we've got on the screen right here. We've got the calf right at the top where Chris Tenerife alleges Jay was trying to get to. We've got the phone ping to the left of it. We've got the body that was found there, and I don't know how the body would have got there from the phone ping, because where the phone ping is, we would have been told that he was lying in a ditch cut by a cactus, but somehow he got out of that ditch and he traveled all this distance. The body was found there, but if you look down the bottom here, the phone was found there. Playa de Juan Lopez is exactly where the phone was found. It was confirmed by the son and the male that it was found on the beach, the secluded beach. How was his phone found on that secluded beach if he came from this direction, according to Chris Tenerife and the official narrative? His phone pinged here, his body was found there. How did his phone get to this point? That makes no sense. I want to get back to the phone, but before we do that, I want to quickly debunk Chris Tenerife's theory that Jay walked up to that cafe to get some scram and to charge his phone. That's the reason he walked in that direction. Because if we look at this map right here, in the direction that Jay should have been going, there's 1, 2, 3 different spots he could have stopped off at to charge his phone and to get some scram.
Okay. So you might hear my YouTuber downstairs, college kid, playing a game, and they are hooping and hollering. There's a bunch of them. So anyway, that just means they're having a good time. Did I notice a video from Warren? There's a screenshot of Jay's phone pings 3 green, 1 red. But one was not near Masca area, but in the Tino Nature Parkway, more inland with lots of trees. Can you send me a link, please, so that I actually have that? Because I don't. I definitely don't. Looks very odd if he had no phone at all. Hillman says if Brad took a screenshot of Jay's location to Lucy, someone said the green dot is where the B&B is, then Brad got of being there at the B&B. Makes you wonder. Samantha Kennett says, I went to Tenerife years ago. A bit scary, to be honest. Wouldn't go back to Veronica's. And I was with my Ohio. I don't know what you were with. Gail says, when Ellie digitally interrogate phone activities, shows up on online profiles. But they wouldn't add followers, change piece, titles, etc. Right. I did not see the screenshot in the other. Okay, I didn't either. Love hearing children in the background. It's teenagers. They're playing games and they're hysterical. Kate says, I think the Red Rummer, as Mama D would say, lives in Tenerife, in my opinion. Hey, Karen says, there's no coincidences. I've learned the rappers are used to transport rugs on their private planes. Has anyone checked private flight arrivals in Tenerife? They call it Devil's Island, says Shawnee. All right, you guys, so I have to give you a trigger warning. About to jump into something that's very gross. It's about decomposure. It's educational. And for anybody out there that keeps trying to put this theory out there that they can get fingerprints out of a mummy. No, they can't. The body of a mummy has been prepared. It's done special. Okay? And they can rehydrate it if it's been done proper only. So we were wondering, and some beautiful 1111 family members of ours were wondering, how long will a morgue hold a body before it has to be cremated, embalmed, something? I know, right? But you gotta know the stuff. So y'all found it and sent it to me. Hope you ate your lunch already. Because you're about to lose
what changes does the
appetite, I'm sure. With that, I'm going to jump over. It's a minute, 18 seconds. I'm just going to show your comments and let it roll.
After death, what changes does the body undergo? In just 2 seconds, the body loses oxygen. Within 10 seconds, the body temperature starts to drop. After 2 minutes, the body begins to cool. In 30 minutes, blood begins to pool. 2 hours later, muscles stiffen. 7 hours in, microbes begin to proliferate. 12 hours later, cells start to die. A day passes, and the body begins to decay. 2 days later, inflammation sets in the abdomen. Also, 2 days later, the skin color starts to change. 3 days in, maggots start to appear. 4 days later, the skin begins to slip. Again, 4 days later, hair starts to fall out. 4.5 days later, nails start to indent. 4.8 days later, blood blisters start to form. 5 days later, insect activity peaks. 6 days later, the skin darkens. 8 days later, tissues begin to liquefy. 9 days later, fluids start to drain from the body. 10.5 days later, internal organs begin to decompose. 12 days later, bones become exposed. 17 days later, the body decomposition slows. 20 days later, insect feeding begins. 30 days later, the body no longer has any
30 days later, the body no longer has any, none, zero tissue. Need to hear it again? I hope not, but I'm going to rewind it.
30 days later, the body no longer has any tissue. 32 days later, only dry remains remain. 36 days later, the bones become clear.
That's crazy. So how'd they get his fingerprints? Claire Wade said he wasn't there that time. No way. Someone must have sorted him, says Laura. AJ Down the Rapids video shows where, or AJ said, Down the Rapids video shows where Jay was supposed to have walked, where his phone was pinged, and terrain. Samantha Maxwell says, I too have always thought whatever happened, it was that secluded beach. I sense it strongly. Aw. Thank you, Angel's Piece of Peace. She says, peace, just want to get the justice for Jay. I know, right, Holly? Holly Berry wants to know, so how did Jay supposedly have tissue? I just don't buy it. So, did they have fingerprints? Is it even Jay? I know, Samantha. That's what I'm saying. You guys are doing the work now. I mean, you're doing homework that I'm shocked at. Like, I'm so impressed. You send me things like this, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go live. You know, because I want everybody to see it. And like I said originally as we started, I'm your voice too. You send me things like this that are scientific and make sense, and they're a source of information, education. I'm going to jump on it. And I say thank you because it does educate us. We're going to watch it one more time. That one part. Well, I'm going to watch it all. It's only a minute long, you guys. Listen to this. I'll show your comments as we go.
After death, what changes does the body undergo? In just 2 seconds, the body loses oxygen. Within 10 seconds, the body temperature starts to drop. After 2 minutes, the body begins to cool. In 30 minutes, blood begins to pool. 2 hours later, muscles stiffen. 7 hours in, microbes begin to proliferate. 12 hours later, cells start to die. A day passes, and the body begins to decay. 2 days later, inflammation sets in the abdomen. Also, 2 days later, the skin color starts to change. 3 days in, maggots start to appear. 4 days later, the skin begins to slip. Again, 4 days later, hair starts to fall out. 4.5 days later, nails start to indent. 4.8 days later, blood blisters start to form. 5 days later, insect activity peaks. 6 days later, the skin darkens. 8 days later, tissues begin to liquefy. 9 days later, fluids start to drain from the body.
Okay, I'll have you know something. This is in a chilled environment, y'all. This is in a morgue. As far as I know, this is in a morgue what happens. I looked up the morgue thing, and they said they can't keep the body over 4 to 7 days because it will decompose no matter what temperature they keep it at. They don't freeze bodies. So they're saying morgues all over, not 1, 2, 3, but all of them that I researched, which I think it was 5 different morgues all over the world, are saying, hey, by day 5, you got to know what you're doing with your person here, even if it's an investigation, because the body is decomposing on my table, and I ain't going to have it. So by 7 days, we got major problems. It's it. You're on your last window of what to do here with your loved one, because even though we're keeping them in a chill environment, at 7 days, we can't do it anymore. So now, we know one thing. Heat causes it to decompose much faster. Puts it on hyperdrive. Cold slows it down. It's not cold enough there on those nights to last all day through the blistering heat. I mean, Chris Tenerife had his arms up, no sweat, but he's like, couldn't hardly breathe. How in the world would the body make it that long? It just couldn't have, in my humble opinion. Oh, Jenny, thank you, lovely. Thank you for gifting us a level 11 new True Crime, a level 11 True Crime members. Wow, that's an incredible gift. And welcome to each and every one of our new Starlights. I'll see if I can see who it all is. I have to use my phone. It's too small on the other screen. We got Geester Kelly, Peace and Love, Michelle, Carol A. Connie, Dreamers Fantasy, Double Doll 666, Conspiracy, Realist, Nancy Pies, and Sweet Coffee. Welcome all of you. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you so incredibly much. I hope things are going well for you, and I appreciate that you're modding for us. So you're such a giver. Just make sure you're taking care of you too, love. Operation Kraken started. J for J on the way. Thank you, thank you. All right, you guys. Starship says, I don't think where he is was exposed to sunshine. It's colder in the mountains, and being low down where he allegedly was surrounded by tall mountains, it would be much cooler. I don't care. Even if it's cooler, you still got 7 days. You got 4 days, you got slippage. By 29 days, there's no tissue. I'm starting to think he's alive now, says Maggie. Paulo says, Danielle de Le Red, as sad as it doesn't make the whole of the island dangerous at all. Do you live in South or North? I'll be there next week. All right, you guys, let me see what else we have. I think that's it. I think that's a wrap. So, let me jump over. We're going to take chat off. Thank you guys so incredibly much for chatting it up with me. And I'm going to get us a little outro figured out over the next week so that when we depart, it shows a little something for you guys to see. Like I said, I would have never thought I was coming on today, but when you guys go into overtime, I am with you. It's all hands on deck. I am absolutely there with you. And I appreciate you being here with me, and Wax, and Harsh, and Joseph, and Streamline Entertainments, and Angels Piece of Peace, and Tales of Life, and Dim Dizzy. I mean, there's a lot of good folks. Evil exists. There's a lot of folks still working on this case. And in doing that, we're all trying our best to get to the truth. And we are very supportive of each other, and that's why we're getting as far as we are. But right now, I can't 100% say whether Jay's phone is actually on that beach. But what I can tell you is it's been reported by a lot of news sources that it was found on that beach. I vaguely recall Warren say something about there was nothing being on Jay's phone. We have alleged aunt saying that, and that's all it. And if it was found on the beach, that screams foul play to me. This girl, she's on the beach in her mind going, okay, how the hell would Jay's phone get this far away from him when he hadn't even made it that far because he's demised over there? It screams foul play. I don't know. Let me think. Let me know what you think. I'm going to think on it too. And I will see you again, hopefully on Monday, if not sooner. If something comes in, maybe sooner. I doubt it. I'll see you on Monday. I love you guys to the moon and back. I pray for Zach, for Warren, for Debbie, and all the loved ones and family and true friends of Jay. I pray that healing starts. But I really do believe it's going to take some answers and some time. So without further, I won't keep you any further.